Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pillar to Post. I'm going to take these off, okay? Just for the time being because I will need them shortly. Um, as you all know, or those that tuned in and have watched the replay, we just had the pay per view on 2K20 here on YouTube called The Bludgeoning. RWO, Renegade Wrestling Organization. That is the all creative wrestler showcase that we do. Today was our our pay per view for it. Had a great time, by the way. It was pretty good. Now 2K20 does have its issues, but it's what you put into it and what you take out of it. Yes, there's still a lot of issues with the game, but for the time being, there's nothing we can do about it. It's going to be as it is. So I take the game in a way where I'm not looking at all the faults at all times. I do that after I'm done doing my show. So I want to thank everyone first of all who have tuned into that show. We had a little issue at the beginning where we had a little bit of internet issue. I resolved that. There was I guess it's a busted Ethernet cable. So resolved that issue quickly. Was able to get up and going again, and went through the rest of the show without any issues. So once again, thank you for all the support you guys give me through that show. This is not quite the regular here on Pillar to Post, but kinda is. Everyone knows that that I write, and I've published some of my work as well as other people have published some of my work. And I had a really tight schedule last year, and things kind of fell apart due to health issues, um, as well as family health issues. And it doesn't get easier as as you all know. It sometimes it can seem like it's never ending. It's like you're being punished sometimes. Um, I it I fell apart, and my schedule went to hell in a handbasket, so to speak. Um, Started smoking heavy again, which I was trying to cut back on and do better with. And I have no excuses. Everyone has weaknesses, vices, and it gets hard. And I've struggled with a lot of things in my past, and still struggling with some now. And there's mental health issues that I deal with at all times. I have to stay consistent in many things. Basically, practicing to memorize certain things so that way I remember to keep on doing certain things. And and then when those mental health issues get out of control, you find yourself falling quick. Um, this is not a bear all and get things off my chest. I'm just explaining how things have been working, and let you all know that I'm working through those things, and I always work through those things. It's the only thing I know how to do is fight. So I'll keep on fighting. But like I said, this is not what this video is about. Um, See, I'm getting myself back on track in a lot of things. Um, and as you all know, health number one on my mind when it comes to myself, because right now I am the primary driver. So I'm running the family around to all the appointments that we need to be at, especially medical appointments for my wife and my daughters. My kids are always above everything else. Same with my wife. And, it, well, when things get out of control, then you find yourself spiraling. And I was doing really good. I cut a lot of weight, and and started feeling really good. Started seeing a brighter light at down that dark tunnel, and I kind of fell apart December, and January hasn't been the kindest either. So I'm stretching the mind power a little bit. Starting tomorrow, I'll be beginning my 30-day fast. It's not a punishment for me. It is learning how to get myself back in control, strengthen the mind and the body, and feel the healthy after effects of water fasting. And you know, I'm not ashamed to say it in any way. I have an addiction to food. When I am depressed, when I am hurting, when I am just out of sorts, I turn to food for some odd reason. It started after the accident when food started tasting good again, and it. So now it's curbing those wants and getting back on track. We got a few things to talk about here on this episode. One being the cover you see there in on the right side of your screen. Wastelander. This is the second edition of the Wasteland Tales. Now, it is a series of short stories produced by myself as well as other authors that want to be participated. I know of two for sure that are returning. Some I'm not sure about yet. We'll see and talk to them as of yet and go forth. I'm looking to get something published by the end of February. And there'll be a mix of different things. It won't be just wasteland material this time around. There's going to be some of the Second Race Chronicles in there, as well as a wasteland story, and some work from New Icon based on the Ling Ling Chronicles, and the continued story by Abigail Hain. So that is something to look forward to. Following that, I have the second series already in the works. It's called The Second Race, where we're series 2. We're in the second season or series, and is based on the Wolven. If you didn't read season 1 yet, I'll have the link below for you where you can find a digital download for the time being. Once the season wraps up or the series wraps up, it will be in paperback and you can purchase it from there. I'll have that info when it reaches that point. But Wastelander is coming your way very soon. And then, like I said, the second series of The Second Race will be coming out. Following that, I'm going back to Dragon's Gate Part 2. I've done a little bit of work on that, but right now my mind is focused on The Second Race as well as Wastelander, and really going to get myself back on track. I want to have the Dragon or the Circle of Steel Chronicles wrapped up by the end of this year. All 3 series of the books completed. There will be another 2 editions of Dragon's Gate, and once all 3 are published, there will be a special collector's edition where it will be all 3 novellas in a one book. I'm doing it so that way they run in tandem. So part 2 will be out, I'm hoping, by June, maybe sooner if I can really get to work on it. I'm doing a lot of umming here because I think on the fly. I don't write anything down to talk about. I don't make notes. I go on. I basically shoot from the hip. So I do apologize for all and we'll try and tone it down just a little bit. Also, I did it again too, right off the hop there. there will be a draw, and in this draw, um, Jesus, I keep on doing it. There will be a date set where that draw will take place, and how that's going to work is you must be a subscriber. You must hit the thumbs up on this video. Make sure your notifications are on, because once I'm going to set the probably in about 2 weeks we're going to have the draw, but what we're going to use is a comment generator that you can find on the internet, and it will go through all the comments of this video, and the lucky person is going to win a pretty big prize. We're going to have one winner, and they're going to get quite a substantial prize. Let me show you a little bit. This is where the glasses come in, okay? It isn't just so I can see you a little bit clearer. No. Okay, so what is going to be on the line is a copy of Dragon's Gate Part 1, the first edition of Wasteland. You're also going to get a free copy of Wastelander. And then I have the box under me, so I do apologize for this. Now, I was going to include hoodies in this, but I've got to look at my stockpile, because I just sold 10. I think 4 go to my older brother. So, but if there is any left, these are the ones that this represents the Circle of Steel brand. This is, basically under all the lines of my Dragon books. And that is the second one. So that is 3. That is 3 gifts already. And then we have an assortment of tees. Circle of Steel t-shirts. Now this one does not have a back. It is a 3X. Now the sizes vary. This is the next one. You got the blue or the red. These were designed by myself. They are vinyl print. They're not like TeePublic. It is the screen and paint, like the one I'm wearing right now. This is a TeePublic one. And there is other variations, and I will have all those sizes. Another red one, but I'm looking for one with a back design here. And this is where, a little bit of planning would come into play here. But I don't like to plan everything. I have a lot of things planned out in life as it is, and it can be daunting at times. And when doing videos, I don't like to have that feeling of schedules. So when I can find it, I will reveal it. I know it's here. I really do. It's a really cool design. I put a lot of time into it. And you know how it is. Once you are looking for something, it is harder than hell to find it. And I'm assuming it's not in this box. Well. I guess I was wrong. Okay, we don't have the back designs for this one. So, I do apologize for that. I was hoping we did. It must be in the other box, way over there, and I'm not going to go look for it. Just not going to happen. So, I will leave it to just the front print of these, and you will win a variation of both. So it will be, and no, these are the last 2 that I have, so they will be going to my older brother. He already ordered them. So the beanies are off the market for the giveaway. So it will be 2 t-shirts, one red, one blue. I will have the sizes available in the description below. You get Dragon's Gate Part 1, as well as Wastelander, the first edition, and then a free copy of Wastelander once that is published at the end of February. Um, the person that wins, I will contact them in private and let them know that they won, and they need to send me their address then, so that way, because I'll be having the Wastelander book shipped directly from lulu.com to your address, and then your prizes will be carefully packaged and shipped your way. So that is the draw. A lot planned. Right now, I think I'm about 10 chapters in on the second race, series 2, called The Wolven. It was supposed to be short stories, but it's looking more like a book here. Now, there is another project in the works, and this one will be a joint effort, and I'm actually probably going to be trying to build a team of writers for this series, because one, it is based on a tabletop game, much like Dungeons and Dragons, and if those that are into the fantasy books, um, think of Dragonlance. That was produced by multiple writers that all the initial crew all partook in the game itself, and that's what I'm looking to do here. The developer of the game contacted me, and you all know him, Mark Malero, also known as New Icon, Mark Mayhem, Bomb Pop Overdrive here on YouTube. Um, Contacted me and spoke to me about maybe writing a series and turning and bringing this world to life inside fantasy fiction. And I love that idea because I've been wanting to do that for a long time. And my passion has always relied on fantasy fiction, but I've been stretching my wings a little bit with the horror. Also, I have other projects that I've been working on throughout the years that involve sci-fi, or a mix between sci-fi and fantasy. So, you know, I love stretching my wings like this, and to create something new like this and build a world and maybe involve other writers as well, uh, combining our talents to come up with this series that just blows people's minds and really grips them in, and draws them into this world where they can just lose themselves. That's one thing I've always aimed for when I write. Some of my writing can be a little bit on the edgier side. Some of it can be, thought out and bring you into that world and help you build that world in your mind. I've always liked to have. I've always been the philosophy of less is more. Sometimes describing situations can be overdone, and people can't let their minds build that world themselves. You have to let your readers' imaginations develop their own ideal of the world that they're reading about. And one name that pops into my head when I'm talking about this, over description when writing, and it's not just him. There's plenty, but Stephen King. If you read his older work and then you read his newer stuff, it's like there is more page filler than there is the story. There's so much description that your mind doesn't see what he's writing, because you're getting bored just by reading the description. Okay, I don't need to have 3 pages of how the wind is blowing the branches and leaves in a tree, how the bark looks of this tree. Um, you know, just a leaf falling as the wind takes hold of it. I don't need to describe all that. Okay, the mind needs to be able to reach out and branch out and develop this setting on their own. Giving that little bit of description and then allowing the reader's minds to take over is what I aim for when I write. Doesn't matter if it's fantasy fiction or horror, as I've done in Core Got to. It is something I strive to do, and I try and get better. Now, I have noticed that my writing isn't on par as what it used to be. I've been a writer from young on, and I've always been a storyteller. And my mind has never gotten back to that level it was at before the accident. I was a very very articulate writer, and I struggle with words now. That's why I have to do repetitive work with myself to up my game and my vocabulary, and sometimes I fall short on that because the words are in here, but they don't know how to travel out there. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult sometimes. So what basically is going on is I'm striving for the end of February for Wastelander. We have the draw coming up, and I'm going to say the draw is going to take place in 2 weeks. So comment below to make sure you're involved in this draw. And then the second race, Series 2, will be coming out, named the Wolven, or Wolven. And then the next chapter in the Dragon's Gate series of the Circle of Steel Chronicles. There will be 3 unless I just lose myself in the writing and finish the story off in part 2. And then there will be, following that one, hopefully by the end of this year, it will be the Dragon King at the very end of the series to finish off the series. This part 2 and part 3 of Dragon's Gate is going to be very intense, very violent, but staying true to fantasy fiction, and still allowing the readers to immerse themselves in the writing and help build that world with their own mind. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the last, like part 3 is going to be the last of the series, because I've already started writing what would be a prequel to the series. And, that started last year already. My mind just brings out all these ideas, and I just write them all down. Some things they work with, some things they don't, so I start writing a new notebook. And believe me, I've got about 50, 60 notebooks sitting right under my desk here. And every single one of them has writing in it that just didn't go with the story I was working on at the time. So I rifle through all my work on a daily basis, and it's a lot of stuff in there. I've got a zombie journal type story I'm working on as well that I started a couple of years back and want to get back into. A lot of stuff. Besides that, on the road all the time, just lots and lots and lots of doctor's appointments. So keeping it strong, keeping it going, trying to get my mind stronger, trying to get my body stronger. Sadly, a lot of the issues I started developing were from the injury to my shoulder, and it's still not healed. It's still not mobile enough to lift weights like I want to. Movement is very restricted, and the pain is intolerable at times. To the point where I've almost fallen back to accepting pain medication, and thankfully my mind's strong enough that I was able to say, fuck that shit, I don't need it, I've gotten rid of it, I've been off that stuff for a few years now, so that's all good. I can tolerate the pain, even though sometimes it's a little bit too much. And, you know, just keep on going, keep on staying strong. So, 30-day water fast coming your way. I'm going to be doing a weekly update, and that will be added to the channel, as well as Tuesdays will be a match card for WWE 2K20, and then Friday or Saturday, depending on time allotted, because it isn't just doctor's appointments. So I'm bringing everyone to. It's my son going to work, driving him back and forth, and taking the girls to school and picking them up from school. So just bear with me, and if I'm absent from social media in any kind of way, besides Tuesdays and Friday, Saturday, it's not because I'm struggling. It's because I'm busying myself with the writing, and I'm busy on the road. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Remember, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you're a subscriber and have your notifications set on, because in 2 weeks we do the draw and we will pick our winner. And then we go from there, and I'll contact the winner. The winner contacts me, whichever it may be, and we move on. I want to thank everyone for their time. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate, as always, the amount of time you guys spend on this channel, the amount of help you guys give me emotionally. You guys always seem to be supporting me, building me up, and I appreciate that. You guys all have your own issues, and you find it in your heart to supply me a little bit of encouragement and love, and it's greatly appreciated. I want you all to have a great night. Always have a better tomorrow, because frankly, we're all looking for that better day. And if you give up hope, well, the days are just going to keep on being crappy, and we don't need that, folks. So stay positive, stay strong, keep the mind and the willpower strong as well. And that's what I'm looking to do now with this 30-day fast. I'm going to make it. I'm going to get myself back on track. So once again, I'm out of here.